Well, first of all, this pillow is like insanely dangerous to have on your lap. Full of dudes. Like, she's looking at me crazy, so I might have to keep this here for a little bit.
Just don't open the pillowcase.
Because I have a boner? I don't, though. I don't.
Hello and welcome to the Boys from Stair Show's the Week 16 NFL Show.
Yeah!
On the slate. Shout out Scott. Cowboys on the slate. Sam didn't want this game to be on the slate, but we're doing it anyways. Cowboys at Dolphins. Dolphins minus 1.5. Total's 51.5. Go ahead, Scott.
How typical is it that I joined back the week the Cowboys 5 wins in a row winning streak ends? Typical. Couldn't have been here for the wins. I had to be here for the losses, but that's what I do. I defend my Cowboys when they need it most because all you guys, we're America's team. Y'all like to pick on us. Most of our losses this year with the Cardinals, 49ers, the Eagles, and the Bills, every single one of those teams has run the ball against us and they've run it pretty damn well. Cowboys defense gave up over 250 all-purpose yards to James Cook. We just got absolutely torched. Had no answers for him. And then Mike McCarthy came out and said, we're not passing out any game balls in any area of the run defense. Well, I damn well hope not because there's nothing to be cheering about. So, look, this Cowboys defense, it's not been that bad. It's been horrific against the run, and it was bad against the run against the Bills. But I think this is the type of week that we can overcome it. But we're against a really, really strong Dolphins run game, right? With Mostert and a chain. Like, it's a tough task to ask, but I think we're capable of doing it. We haven't allowed a receiver now for over 150 yards. Since 2021, we haven't had a receiver have over 150 yards on us. So I think if you take out the Tyreek element of this game, which is no easy task, I'm not saying that is, but it's something to keep in mind that this defense, it can perform. It's really struggled lately, particularly in that Bills game. And then the offense struggled. I mean, Dak was just woeful. So I'm confident with this Cowboys defense. I think the Dolphins, they've got a lot of firepower. I can't knock that. I can't say that they don't. They do. But I think this Cowboys defense has enough to limit that and get right. And this is a get right game for us. The Cowboys defense, few quick facts. We've allowed the fourth fewest passing yards per game this season. Deron Bland leads the league in interceptions. He's got 8 on the season. Anything he seems to touch, it turns into an interception. We also get Malik Hooker back in this game. Looks like that anyway. So I think with this offense as well, look, we've seen Tony Pollard getting a bit of the ball. Rico Dowdle now getting involved in the run game, but give the ball to Pollard. Go back to the basics. That's what we need to do. That's what we should do. And this matchup also features 2 of the top scoring offenses in football, both averaging more than 30 points per game. So give me the Cowboys. Give me the over. We're back. This is the game we get right. And I think CD's going to have a big game. Here we go. Dallas are back. Scotty's back.
Talking like a true Michigan man. I love that, Scott. Me and you both, brother. Appreciate the take. Love to have you on the show, but you're completely wrong. Dolphins are going to prove everybody wrong. Dolphins minus 1.5. I do like the over though, because none of our defenses are good. Dolphins minus 1.5.
I do agree with Scott that this does need to be a get right game for the Cowboys, and the Cowboys do need a get right game. And I was spot on last week that right when everyone's propping up the Cowboys is when they let you down the most. And that was true against Buffalo. Buffalo took them to town. But it's a tough one to pick, 1.5. I'm not going to touch that total because 51.5 is a lot. It always is. And with these teams who have proven that they can score a shit ton of points, that makes me even more skeptical of the over. So I'm just not going to touch that. But I am going to go with the Fins. I just think the Cowboys need another week to reset. And I think if they lose this week, it will help them come playoff time, honestly, to not go in riding their high horse and maybe prove some people wrong. You never know.
So I went ahead and took the over for this game because I really don't know what to expect. Dallas's defense looked absolutely horrific against the Bills, and Miami's defense hasn't looked so hot either. We've seen guys, Ramsey, who the first couple weeks coming back from injury looked awesome, getting a couple picks, and then ever since that he hasn't. He's been. I'm not going to say he's been getting torched, but he's let a couple receivers have some pretty good games on him. And with CeeDee Lamb coming into town, I think that he's going to have another tough week ahead. And same goes for the Cowboys defense. The formula that seems to work for the Cowboys is they get ahead, and their defense could really key off and rush the passer. If they're behind and you could run the ball and pound it, they struggle. The defense struggles a lot because guys like Parsons and their other D linemen are getting pushed off of the ball as opposed to rushing up the field and getting pressure on the quarterback. So I feel like that will have a huge effect on the way this game goes. Who gets up early? Because if the Cowboys get up early, I think they win. If the Dolphins get up early, I think they win. So I don't want to touch the winner or the spread here. So I'll just take the over because I think a lot of points will be scored as two struggling defenses are going into this game.
All right, so the only Dolphins fan that we have in the studio, I was trying to get him to go first. He doesn't want to talk, so I guess that's all. I guess that's all you need to know. I was just trying to be nice to give you the floor first. I'm taking the over. I'll just go. I'm taking the over. I well documented hate both the Cowboys and Miami Dolphins. I do think that both are good teams. I think that the Dolphins had no Tyreek last week, and they were playing the Jets, who still have a good defense, and they put up 30-0 on them. So, that was a kind of a statement win in and of itself. And then the Cowboys had a 30-point loss in Buffalo. So, I do think the points are going to be scored. I'm not entirely sure who's going to win, but I don't like both teams. So, give me the over 51.5.
Hey, put her there for you saying points are going to be scored in a game.
Points are going to be scored. Saying more points than 51.5.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm obviously taking the Dolphins here, but I do think our defense is better than what people think. Besides the Titans game, there's been no other team in the last 4 weeks that scored more than 16 points on us. So I feel like we're gonna put the Cowboys offense to a little bit of a stall, and that's gonna give us the edge just because our defense is a little bit better than theirs. So I'm gonna take Dolphins spread. I want to take the over, but I don't know if the Cowboys are gonna score. They have a little bit of a disappointment, Scott. So
go with the over. I picked the Cowboys last week. I was very sick, and my mind was not. That was a surprising pick out of you. Yeah.
that's what you get.
But yeah, give me the over.
I feel like the Dolphins, their offense always struggles against good teams. They can put up 60 or 90 or 1,000 on the Broncos all day. When they play anyone with a decent record, they struggle to get to 20. So I'm going to take the under because I think that Dallas defense is going to hold them. They're probably going to run the ball, be conservative, and just try to get a win because they're trying to win their division, so they need a win as bad as possible. So they'll probably do whatever it takes. The Dolphins are a little bit more comfortable in their division. So I'm taking the under and the Cowboys.
Let me hit you with some stats as well. Dak Prescott has no gag reflex up to 9.75 inches. That dude, straight up, no gag reflex up to 9.75 inches. Jerry Jones has, and his yacht still has below deck. The Cowboys are gonna lose. I'm not a Dolphins fan, but this weekend I am. That's all I gotta say. 9.75 inches.
Hardcore.
Yeah, there will be some editing, but Lloyd will still do that.
I also was like Sean. I took the Cowboys last week, and they got stomped. I don't think Dak's on fraud watch or anything. I also don't think the Dolphins are. I think the Dolphins are. I like their style. Mike McDaniel's is a genius, whether you like it or not. I'm not saying the Cowboys are a bad team. Scott, I respect your Cowboys. They screwed me over last week, and I lost money. But the Dolphins, I think, are going to come.
We both lost money. We can say that.
Make that three.
I think the Dolphins are going to cover here. They're playing well on both sides of the ball. It's a team that wants to win. They might be comfortable in their division, and the Cowboys might not be. But I don't think that's going to translate. And I think the Dolphins are going to take care of business in Miami.
I think Dewey just rubbing his ass on the carpet is a metaphor for the Dolphins rubbing their asshole on the Cowboys.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Fins up, baby. That's it.
I like that.
All right, hey. Game 2 on the slate. This could be, and we've said this a bunch of times, this has potential to be one of the better games, game of the year type potential game. So Ravens at 49ers. 49ers are minus 5.5. Total is 46.5. So we're going to give it to Nickson because he's a Ravens fan.
I understand why a lot of people are going to take the 49ers this week. They're at home. They're playing really great football. And they have two MVP candidates on their team. And they're really good at all levels, all three phases, but so are we. And this is the thing. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, well, Lamar, his numbers aren't gaudy and he hasn't been playing up to his MVP level." Watch the game. if you actually watch the football game and you turn on the TV and you watch the Ravens, you realize how much of influence that Lamar has just by stepping on the football field. And to me, that's what truly means most valuable player. Because if you take Lamar off the football team, we are a 6-win team, 7-win team. But our defense is probably the best defense in football too. The ranks of all the defenses that the 49ers have played, they haven't played a top 15 defense this year. We are the first top 10 defense that they're going to see this year. And I feel like we have all the tools to kind of negate everything that they do on offense. We have everything in the front seven to actually stop these guys offensively. And that's really going to be the big thing is our defense. If our defense comes to play, that's really been our calling card all year, not necessarily our offense, because we've been up and down offensively. Our defense is what has won us games. And if our defense comes and they do what they've been doing all year, which is holding teams, forcing punts, letting our offense get into the flow of the game, we will be in this game. We will cover 5.5. I think 5.5 was so ridiculous. That is so disrespectful. Like, we are an 11-3 team we're the number one team in the AFC. We've whooped the Lions. We whooped them. Seattle, we whooped them. Every team from the NFC that we play, we whooped them. So I think 5.5 is super disrespectful. We're going to cover that. And go Ravens, go Flock Nation. Anybody else who has something to say about it?
I'm going to take the Niners.
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
I like it, Nickson. I as much as it pains me to say, I actually agree. Nickson, the Ravens, I think, are going to cover. Lamar is a difference maker, but I do want to say I see a lot of Tua and Brock Purdy. Love me some Brock Purdy. Don't be hating on my Brock Purdy.
He's not. No, he's probably going to win MVP.
He should. I love the Ravens covering, and defense are going to show up today. For that game. All right. Ravens cover. Let's go, Nickson.
I'll follow real quick because I agree with everything Nickson said here. I think it is very disrespectful. You took that from me, that it is disrespectful that the Ravens are a 5.5-point dog here for how good of a team they are. I mean, they've had flashes like where they gave up 31 points to the Rams. They gave up a shit ton of points to the Browns. But they've also had those games where, they made Trevor Lawrence look like Nathan Peterman this weekend, and they went against the Lions, who's probably one of the better offenses they faced, and shut their asses down. So it's proven throughout the season that when a good offense comes to face the Ravens have something special dialed up for them. And I've been on the wagon this year that the Ravens are a really good fucking team and that they might have what it takes to go all the way. All in all, I think the Niners are really good. This is probably the game of the year. I would say cumulatively, this is one that people are probably the most excited to watch. So it'll be a highly touted, highly watched game.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna ride with the Ravens here. I think they have enough to squeak this one out. It's not really an indictment against the Niners, but like Nickson said, the Ravens are really good at controlling those pre-snap motions and those pre-snap shifts, which is Kyle Shanahan's bread and butter, and getting that offense going is just confusing the shit out of everyone. And I think that's going to play into the Ravens' hands a lot, and also stopping that run. If they can contain McCaffrey, then this is a Ravens win easily. But we all know that containing McCaffrey is not an easy task.
This is actually the odds-on favorite right now. This line, 49ers against the Ravens, is the favorite to be the Super Bowl matchup for this year.
Yep.
So we're in for a treat. Let's see what happens. Completely agree with what all the guys have said. This Ravens team, they're legit. We know they're legit. Now's the time to prove it, though. They win this game, they make a statement to the NFL that they're here, they're not messing around. Not that they were, but this is probably their most vital game of the season, in my opinion, because this is going to show us a lot about this Ravens team and this 49ers team. The Ravens lead the league in rushing yards, right? They've got Gus Edwards in this game, and after Keaton Mitchell goes out.
Get well soon, Keaton.
Get well soon, Keaton. But San Francisco, that defense, they allowed 234 rushing yards to the Cardinals. This Ravens team is even better at running the ball, one of the best in the league. So they can seriously take advantage of this lack of run defense for the 49ers. And the Ravens defense is giving up around 287 yards per game. Like that's rock solid, right? And they're leading the league in sacks. They got 50 on the year. Nickson mentions Justin Madubuike there. Like he's got 12. Like they're rock solid, and it's a scary defense to go up against. Sam mentioned if the Ravens can, stop Christian McCaffrey, they've got a chance in this one. No one stops him. He is, in my opinion, the MVP this year. But there's a sense that you can limit him. Maybe you limit him to 1 touchdown instead of 2 or 3. He is the inner working of that whole 49ers team on the offensive side of things. And you even just limit him slightly, you put a lot of confidence in your team that you've got a chance at winning this one. So the Ravens can win this game if they find a way to get to Purdy. They've got the great D-line. They can do it. I'm confident they can do it. And they've got the great run defense, the best run defense that CMC's faced all year. So let's see what happens. But I'm definitely backing the Ravens in this one. I like them. And I like the under because I do kind of back both these defenses when push comes to shove. I think both of these defenses are top 5 in the league, in my opinion. So I think we're in for a cracker here, though, lads.
I think this is going to be the best 9 to 12 game we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, like I was going to take the Ravens, but then after hearing Nickson's like completely biased, really long take, just like Scott had his really biased, really long take about their teams that they support, which is fine.
Facts, Tommy. That's all it is.
Oh, exactly. But like, it's fine. It's great. You watch the team a lot, so I understand that you're passionate about it. But I don't know if the Ravens are good enough to cover 5.5, especially on the road in San Francisco. The 49ers are the best team in the NFL. I'll put my life on the line saying that. I'm just going to take the under. I think 46.5. For how good the 49ers defense is and how good the Ravens defense is, I think that it'll go under, and I think that it will be a very good defensive, probably, 13 to 17 type game. So I'm just going to take the under.
I'm going to say what Tom was too polite to say, but fuck all that shit. The 49ers, they like to beat good teams, and they like to dominate good teams. We're talking about the best team in the AFC. What about the team with the best record in the whole NFL, the Eagles? In Philadelphia, got absolutely torn up. The Cowboys, absolutely torn up. The 49ers love to blow out good teams. To me, the Ravens, their defense is insane. And I feel like that bails out their offense sometimes. I feel like they make a lot of mistakes, and you can't make mistakes against the 49ers team. You can't drop balls. You can't bat the ball into the air. You can't fumble. You can't throw picks. You have to play a damn near perfect game against the 49ers to be in that. And I think the Ravens play a very not perfect game. I feel like their defense should have given them a lot of opportunities and a lot of chances to make up for bad offensive possessions. And I know we're going to be talking about the over, or the under, but I'm taking the over. I think a lot of points are going to be scored in this game. And I don't think you can tell me the other not going to say both teams are going to have at least decent offenses. I think the 49ers are going to cover themselves, so 49ers in the over.
Hope that was like
The 49ers, you think, are going to score 40 points? Coby, you're smoking.
They did it to the Eagles. They did it to the Eagles.
They did do it to the Eagles.
The Eagles' defense is better than our defense? The Eagles' defense is fucking Swiss cheese.
Yeah, the 49ers put up 40.
They just did it last week.
Bro, I'm willing to bet like $1,000 that the 49ers not scoring 40 fucking points. No way.
I agree.
But you guys got to score too. I'm not saying you're going to cover. I'm not saying you're going to cover the over by themselves.
I've been watching the Patriots too fucking much. You forgot what good football looks like. Jesus Christ.
They're not going to cover by themselves. But the Ravens are going to score points too. So that's why I'm saying over.
I can see it.
The 49ers get like the majority of the points, and the Ravens score like 2 touchdowns, and they call it over.
So I can see this game being like third to 20.
That's what I'm saying. I see it like 31-21.
Taking the over? Taking the side? No side?
Eric DaCosta of Colby Football.
Oh, yeah.
I have a dear friend who's working for the Ravens right now as well in their front office. But I think along with what Scott said, there's a lot of spotlight on the D-line of the 49ers. And, some of that light should be probably shown on to the talent that the Ravens actually have at that same position. And they've got a great offense, a top 10 defense also, and I'm sure, Nickson, you're probably shaking your boots with excitement of me saying all this stuff. But when the 49ers have had to stand up to a real challenge, point scoring seems to be one of their downfalls. So the under is wise. I'm not taking the under. I'm just going to take Ravens plus 5.5. Expect Lamar to do some crazy stuff. Anyone who's a Coby mule, a former Coby mule, is destined for greatness. So, for those reasons, go Ravens.
Ravens money line.
Block Nation.
That's all.
I think that Sixers breath smells a little bad. I think the Niners are going to have a great fucking game. Is it going to be enough to edge out the Ravens? Personally, I'm a big fan of edging, and I think that I stick out my yacht for the Rizzler and skibbity toilet all the time. I'm kind of a baby Gronk myself.
Have you rizzed up Livy lately?
Nah, not lately. I've been too busy working on edging
With your
Sixers
Sigma?
breath. And,
Have you visited Ohio lately?
but no, and I think I think that the Ravens are going to come away with this one. They've just got more Sigma grind set in them.
Heard it here first.
That was the most insane thing I've ever heard.
All right, so it's time for the best part of the show here. It's time for the lock of the week. We didn't establish who's going to go first for this, so.
Can I roll first? Because I have to go soon.
Sam.
Sam, do a backflip.
This year, with my lock record being very subpar, I figured it's week 16 now. Fuck it. Let's go with my gut here. Bears -4 against the Cardinals. We're gonna smoke them in our home turf. We're wearing the throwbacks. Fields is gonna throw for 300, 3+ TDs. Book it. We're gonna win this game 38-10.
I wish I lived in Sam's fantasy land. I wish I lived in Sam's pants.
The Detroit Lions for the Vikings and the spread is -3 for some reason. I don't know.
Someone messed up.
That's my lock too, so I mean, we might as well just talk at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know
You
what's
guys
going on.
can guess.
I think, I don't know. Last week I took my lock there -4.
Who they play?
The Broncos, and it was like a Saturday night game, and they won like 42-12 or some shit like that. Yeah, so I think that they lost to the Bears, and maybe it's a divisional thing. And it's also in Minnesota. I don't know if that plays a factor, probably a little bit. But they're not all in on the Detroit Lions right now, Cam. And I am. So I have been all year. Sam just left. He's the #1 hater of the Lions, so he's not here to say anything. But I'm taking the Lions -3 as well.
I'm taking the Lions. The Bears game, it's a rivalry game, so it's bound to be close.
Jared Goff plays bad against the Bears. That's
That's
just
what I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying.
It's
It's a
bound to
thing.
happen. So I think against the Vikings, 3 is a crazy situation.
And the Vikings are starting Nick Mullins. So
Nick Mullins, Jared Goff.
yeah, Nick Mullins is just like a way worse version of Jared Goff.
I'm also like a really bad version of Jared Goff if you think about it.
You look like him.
We all are, except Cam.
That's racist.
I'm sorry.
Jared Goff is not that bad. I don't know if anybody's opinion. I'm 10-4 on locks. You know how I'm 10-4? I fucking go to the Jets and I go to the Patriots game, and whoever's playing the worst offense, I take the under. 8-10. 8 of the last 10 or whatever it is. Come on. So it's Jets Commanders under 36.5 lock.
Somebody get that boy a breathalyzer.
I'm taking the Broncos to cover a touchdown against the Patriots at home on Sunday night.
My lock of the week is the Browns -3. They're playing the Texans, no CJ Stroud, all their weapons are hurt. They basically have the same roster that they did last year plus Will Anderson, and that roster got them the 2nd pick in the draft. Browns have elite defense. They're on Case Keenum and a lot of injured receivers. They're on
Do the Browns have a elite defense?
Do the Browns? That's a nuts question to ask.
They do.
You think they have a bad defense?
DJ's still out.
Yeah, CJ Stroud's not playing.
Yeah, it's Case Keenum.
Yeah, it's Case Keenum.
Vikings legend Case Keenum.
But yeah, I think the Browns defense is gonna lock them up, and Flacco, might throw a couple beautiful spirals. They'll have a good run game, and they still have good weapons. And Joe Flacco's been playing pretty good football. So Browns -3.
Josh Giddey, ex-girlfriend, under 17. I'm gonna say over 8. At Pelican Island, and I'm gonna say at least.
Whenever Poncy's on the show, I gotta utilize that SpongeBob episode sound where it's like the Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with the Jets -3 against the Commanders. Stop shit talking Zach Wilson. He is a good guy, and he is good at his job. And the fact it's gone on this far, he's never been more outstandingly bad than like more than 70% of the NFL quarterbacks. And if you disagree with that, he's probably gonna go sleep with your mother. So
He just likes moms. It's not his fault.
and you know what? To each their own. And
put
Zach
up
Wilson
0
likes
points last
moms.
week.
And Zach Wilson also likes beating the Commanders and covering for the Jets this weekend. Jets -3.
The Chargers money line against the Bills.
What the hell?
I think the Chargers are like plus 13 or something.
Yep. Well, not the plus, bro.
You know you've taken a
I got inside information. I got inside information.
Please.
That's just cause it's gonna happen.
Justin Herbert's not playing.
I don't give a fuck. I don't even know what that is.
I'm sending you $50 if they win.
I'm ready.
What's the name of their quarterback?
Easton Stick.
Yeah, dude, he's a beast.
Oh my god. Shout out, Mr. Stick.
Give me the Raiders over the Chiefs. I think they're plus 10. They're playing tough.
Whoa.
Division
That's not a
rivals.
hot take. That's not even a hot take. I was thinking about that too.
Travis Kelce sold his soul to Big Pharma.
Whoa.
Oh.
You
Mr.
also
Pfizer.
heard.
Mr. Pfizer.
Yeah. Taylor Swift is also mid. 6 at best.
So give me the Packers -4 against the Carolina Panthers.
Now that's a lock.
That is a lot.
Anything
It's a great-
convincing from the Panthers. You know, Packers were looking good, and then they had back-to-back losses to the Giants and the Buccaneers. And that kind of has hindered their playoff chances. So they got to go all at it in this one to keep their playoff chances alive. Whatever hopes that remain, it's they don't have too much of a hope of making the playoffs. But look, there's a slither of a chance. So they're going to want to win this, and I think the Packers are going to do it, and they're going to do it comfortably, and we're going to see Jordan Love have a good game. So count it. And I'd also going to say that Jaden Reed gets a touchdown in this one too. They are my locks.
Like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holidays,
Let's go.
Happy New Year.
Happy birthday, Cam.
Happy birthday, Cam. Cam is happy 33rd, Cammy.
It's not Cam's birthday.
No, it's really not even close to his birthday. It's not even his birthday at all.
But happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Shout out Jesus. Did you guys know Jesus subscribes to the Boys Upstairs show?
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
All right, like and subscribe.